Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am joined by, as always, Callum Sanderson. How are we doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Happy to be back on the channel.
Ah,
Obviously,
hey,
great night of fights.
hey, especially after the weekend that we just had of the fights. In this video, we'll be just reviewing, just looking back at UFC 286, where we saw Leon Edwards retain his UFC welterweight title against Kamaru Usman, and we also saw Justin Gaethje just roll back some of the years against Rafael Fiziev and sort of keep the new gen of lightweights just outside the top five for a little longer.
Yeah.
Callum, just that feeling of Leon Edwards retaining that belt after pretty much, I think there was very little people rooting for him that he was going to retain.
Yeah.
People thought Usman's just going to come back, flip the switch. It's going to be the lucky head kick, nothing else. But he showed that the maturity in his game sort of go, nah, my era, the Rocky era, is officially begun.
Headshot, dead, bang. I feel smug because going into the fight, I'd spoken to a lot of people, and a lot of people thought Usman was going to win. And I understand that Usman had a really good performance against him in the previous fight and the previous fights. But there was just something different about going into this one. Like, it felt as though Edwards had figured him out. And yes, the head kick was sensational. It was viral. It was all the special things you could throw at. But I felt in that moment he figured Usman out. And whenever I think back to that fight in Utah, it was Usman's pressure was excellent. Rocky didn't seem himself, but also Usman never was close to finishing that fight. You never really saw Edwards hurt or wobbled. It was Usman putting on a very good performance to just keep him at bay and kind of big brother him almost, so to speak.
Other him,
Yeah.
pretty much.
But Leon, the confidence in the lead up, I don't think Usman overlooked Leon. I do think he underestimated Leon though, because I think he just saw it as and he never, and do you know, credit to him, he never called it a lucky shot or lucky kick. I think he looked at it and thought, I was brilliant in that fight and I got caught with an amazing technique.
Just one mistake.
One mistake. It could happen to anyone. We saw it with GSP and Sarah. We've seen it with everyone, maybe apart from Jones. DC in the Jones fight was fighting excellent in the second fight. Gets caught with a head kick, fight's over. But I think that lulled Usman into almost a false sense, and it's almost like his game plan was, I'm just going to pressure you and show you that you can't do what you did the last time, rather than mixing up his, like, for me, he was over aggressive. And one thing I've noticed with Leon over the last few fights, how calm he is. Doesn't really get phased by much. Like the Nate fight in the lead up, never really got phased by anything. RDA never really got phased. The title fight lead up in Utah didn't really get phased. In the fight, he's got a brilliant poker face. Everything in my opinion pointed towards a Leon win, but I understood why people still said Usman. But I'm over the moon for Leon. What I will say is, when it comes to Kamaru Usman, like him or not, you to quote him, we have to put respect on his name. Like, he is brilliant.
One of the best welterweights.
Second best welterweight in UFC history. And you're in my opinion, you're behind the GOAT of the sport. I know Jones has just had that brilliant performance, so I know that'd be a controversial statement, but I look at GSP and think he's the GOAT. Like, may not be my personal favorite fighter, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, but with GSP, in my opinion, is the GOAT. So to be second to the GOAT in that division, and you look at who we beat on the way up. RDA beat Woodley when Woodley was Woodley, like 5-rounded him. Like, it was a clean sweep. The first Colby fight, the second Colby fight, the first Masvidal fight, it was a bit The
Week's
second
notice.
fight, he stops Masvidal. Like no one else has done that to Masvidal. I don't even think anyone else will do that to Masvidal, if I'm going to be honest. And then you look at the situation where he was winning. Sorry, Gilbert as well. Like he knocked back the challenge of Gilbert. You have to respect Kamaru. You have to respect his competitiveness, his willingness to go through pain barriers. Like his knees are shot. I'm talking as someone who's got a knee surgery under their belt, and I know what you go through with those knee surgeries. It's not just physical, it's mental. He's got terrible knees. His whole body's breaking down, and you're still able to pull out performances like that. Nothing but respect to Usman. I don't think he'll hold the belt again now, but he goes down in history as right now as the second best welterweight to do it.
Yeah. Before we touch on the fight, were you surprised that he didn't retire? Because there was some whispers that maybe he might have might have hung it up. Because
he's not going out on a loss.
Because
do you want a wild take?
Pardon? Yeah,
I've got a wild take. I think he moves up to 85. And I think he has a couple fights at 85.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that he will, especially obviously if he doesn't pick up the belt. Then I reckon that there is a strong possibility that you could see him move up. But I always had to feel like a slight feeling that if he wasn't successful, it wouldn't have surprised me if he would have hung up the gloves right there and then. Because I don't think Usman would want to go down a Woodley route where he just can't pick up a win for love nor money. Because I don't know if his knees are shot to bits that much, how much is left in the tank to go again for another title run, even if it is at welterweight or maybe even at middleweight. So I wasn't surprised he didn't, but there was a part of me that thought that maybe he could have done if he would have thought that's him done.
I never saw him retiring, win, lose, or draw, unless he sustained like a career-threatening injury or anything. He's so competitive. Like you even saw him in the fight, how like competitive he was. He wanted every inch.
Oh yeah. Yes, he did.
He wanted everything. He wanted everything to be given. So like, and I'll be honest, I don't see him going down the Woodley route because barring Edwards, we don't know if Hamzat's still a welterweight or not, so I can't really judge Hamzat. I'll be honest, I think he still beats Colby if they fight again. I think he beats Bilal Muhammad if they fight again. I think he beats...
Do you think he beats Shavkat?
I don't know about Shavkat. But we've not seen anyone try and wrestle Shavkat, so he could beat Shavkat as well. Like,
yeah.
Apart from Leon, I don't see anyone else yet in that division who I think, yeah, he beats Usman.
And plus, we're not really clamoring to see a fourth fight because for me, I don't know about you, I thought apart from the third round, I thought it was a shutout. I thought if he doesn't grab the fence, I reckon it's maybe he wins the round. If he doesn't grab the fence, and then you never know what happens from that position, whether or not he would have got taken down, popped straight back up.
The
round strong. But there was a potential for him to have shut him out 5-0. Yeah. And then that's when people would have gone, oh shit. Oh, he's Woodleyed him. He's Woodleyed him.
Yeah.
Just like Usman did the Woodley, just a complete shutout. But I thought with regards to Usman, I think that he'll take a while off. Like, don't expect him to see him back till after the summer. I think he's going to take a lot of time off. I think he's going to think about what he wants to do next. I know that he said about Hamzat, but if he's at 85 and Usman decides to jump, maybe we're going to get that fight at 85. You never know.
I'm up for seeing Usman at 85, but I'm still up for seeing Usman at 70. I genuinely don't mind seeing him fight a couple of guys at 70. Like, I'd be up for it. And I'll be honest with you. Let's say Leon defends 2 or 3 times, and let's say Usman does something crazy and he fights Hamzat, he fights Shavkat, and beats both of them. And Usman's defended 3 times. Let's say Leon defends against Colby, Burns, and Bilal. and Usman beat Shavkat and Hamzat, I see a full fight. You can't kind of deny him after that.
Yeah. But I don't think we'll see a fourth fight for a while, because I don't know if, let's touch on the fight, because I thought the game plan from Leon was
spot
on. No. Let's before the fight, when Buffer does the announcement, Usman does the thing where he walks in his face, and we've seen in the Salt Lake fight, like, Leon didn't do anything. It was the first one when he did anything, but instinct, he just gives him the headshot. Cold. Just cold, showing that he does not fear him.
Yeah.
He does not fear what he brings to the table. And you could even see that throughout the press stuff throughout the week. His confidence grew and grew and grew. And then you got to the last face-off, and I don't know whether or not people have seen it, literally goes to Usman saying, "You're fucking done." And that's when Usman goes, "Oh, you want to talk now?"
Yeah.
You want to talk now?
Usman said we're talking the cage.
And that's going to come back and bite him, or he's going to look like a G when he wins.
Yeah.
But I thought his game plan, Edwards, was superb with the kicks, with the oblique kicks. I thought that was great. Chop down Kamaru's base. I thought his striking was crisp, on point. I think he landed about 70% of his strikes, which is unheard of in a title fight for the striking to be that accurate. Focused a lot on the leg kicks, especially we mentioned about Kamaru's knees and a lot of oblique kicks. And obviously people are going to go, well, he didn't get the finish and stuff like that. But sometimes you don't need to get the finish for it to be a great fight. And I thought it was a tactical masterclass by Edwards and his team. Stuffed pretty much every takedown, and every time he got taken down, he got popped back up. Obviously, he got the fence grab, and he could have very easily, because that was so you go into the fourth, it's tied up now. You practically chucked away 2 rounds of good work.
Yeah,
you could have crumbled, but the fact is the mentality there to go, nah, we're not losing the belt in the UK. His event. And I thought that showed a champion's mentality, something that I mentioned in the preview, that the fear was that he's had his Rocky moment.
Yeah.
No one's going to take that away from him. But is he going to have the champion's performance to show, he's here to stay? And the last 2 rounds, he did exactly what I wanted to see. And for me, he's here to stay. I think he's here to stay. I don't know who's going to take the belt off him at the moment. Obviously, there's going to be contenders down the line. Yeah. At the moment, I can't see who beats him, because at the moment, he is the best welterweight in the world.
Yeah.
Best
and he's from Jamaica.
And he's from Jamaica.
He's from Jamaica.
And walkout music. Hey, if you guys not watched the Watch Along Hobbs Sanderson show, we had a special guest, Drifty.
Iconic.
Joined in as well. Those two bopping along to his walkout music as well.
Iconic. I'm so happy for him, man. So happy for Leon. Like, shout out to Ariel, because Ariel Helwani's really been pushing the Leon Edwards stuff.
Yeah.
You think back to the last time he fought the O2, he fought like, what was it, maybe 3rd fight on the card, or was he co-main? But he wasn't the main event. He got booed into the ring. He got booed out of the octagon. Then had an altercation with Masvidal. 4 years, and no one really cared for him.
And everyone was ducking
4 years
him,
later, look at him.
Like, people going, "Oh, what, Leon who?"
Yeah.
I thought, hey.
Now everyone's calling him out.
Yeah, now people call him out. Calling him out. I don't know whether or not you want to talk about the fence grab. 3rd round, Leon grabs the fence.
Yeah, I can touch it. I think the right thing happened. He got a point taken away. And
you think Herb should have given position?
No, I don't think you do both.
Because there was a similar thing.
I think you pick. See, here's the thing. This is what I personally think. How do you mimic the position though? Because you don't know how he falls in the takedown. You don't know how Usman lands. Because let's say, for example, how Usman was taking him down. There is a chance that potentially Leon could have landed on Usman. it's unlikely, but it could have happened. So I don't
Yeah.
think you could replicate something like that. Let's say, for example, it was like, for example, when we watched Oliveira versus Poirier and Oliveira was on his back.
Yeah.
If Dustin was holding the cage there, I think you can replicate that position. But in a situation like that, I don't think you can replicate the position because
something
it
similar
was an
happened.
emotion of something happening.
Yeah. Something happened similar the week before. Essential versus Davy Grant.
Yes.
Davy Grant I think he grabbed the fence. I was watching it. And then in that position, point got deducted. That's a position where forgot his name now. Essential should have got position.
Yeah.
Instead of getting back on the feet, then obviously you get the Essential giving the thumbs up and then the spinning back elbow and then the great submission finish. But yeah, I thought no qualms for me for the point getting deducted. I thought not a problem. People calling Leon a dirty fighter.
Oh, behave.
Do you see some people that are upset that Usman's lost and think, oh, dirty this, dirty that? They both gave as good as they got, both of them. But the Leon fence grab, point taken away, no issues from me. Let's talk about probably the biggest surprise of the week. Colby Covington weighs in, backup fighter, 170. Your first thoughts when you saw him? No, when I sent you the photo that he weighed in, your thoughts, because we hadn't heard from him since he had that little altercation with
the little situation. Yeah.
I've been polite in this situation.
I saw that and I was just like extremely surprised. One, because of the surprise of Leon and Usman, they didn't know anything about it. Now, rumor has it that the managers of the both fighters knew, but didn't mention anything just to not take their minds off it. Something's gone behind the scenes. Like, let's just call it what it is. For Colby not to be seen anywhere and then become the backup fighter for a championship fight where you had no fears in, like, there was a 1% chance that something was going to go wrong with this particular fight. Usman never misses weight. Leon never misses weight. They've not had bad luck with injuries or setbacks before fights. They weren't in a situation where you think, oh, maybe they get into an altercation before the fight. There was nothing like that. There was a 1% chance of something mad going on. I think it was done to boost the event because I think it got people talking.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's been some sort of an agreement behind the scenes that Dana and Colby won't let us know as fans and as people who cover the sport. But for him to come back after, what is it, like almost a year or more than a year?
I think it's nearly a year, yeah.
And then the fight he had was over Masvidal, who was coming off the back of two losses to Usman. So it wasn't like Masvidal was on a winning streak. He was still ranked a decent number. But you look at Colby's record, apart from Usman, I can't remember the last time he fought someone coming off a win. Was RDA coming off a win? I'm guessing maybe RDA was because he won the interim against RDA.
Yeah.
So RDA, then he gets a title fight. Then he fights Woodley, who's on a massive skid.
Oh, yeah.
And then gets another title fight off that. And then
I'll mention what happens.
Robbie Lawler as well. Like, he fought Robbie Lawler, and then so it's like if you're Colby, you're playing brilliant because you're fighting against fighters who kind of shouldn't be in there with you, but you're getting title shots off the back of it. Masvidal is a credible win, especially when he beat him, because you don't lost Usman. But it's Colby, if I'm not mistaken, hasn't beaten anyone in the top 5.
Yeah. So when I saw the news, I was shocked, considering that I think Bilal Muhammad not leaked, but showed DMs that he was offered to fight Colby at London, which he accepted, and he was waiting Colby to sign the contract, and nothing happens. So I, just like you, I do think something's been agreed because Masvidal's fighting at 287. Had something hanging over his head that seems to have just disappeared. Not going to speculate of what's happened, but something has happened for Colby to just to come back. I do agree with you. It was there to sell pay-per-view tickets, and it's sort of ironic how he was one of the guys, many like other of the welterweights, when Leon was trying to climb the rankings, going, who? Leon who? And it's so ironic Leon Scott, and it's how ironic that he is jumping in the background when Leon is declared the winner. And that leads me on to what was confirmed in the post-fight. And Dana White has confirmed that it's Leon versus Colby next.
Crazy.
Because he's made the weight. He came in as the backup fighter. Just because you're the backup fighter doesn't mean you get the next title shot.
I was just going to say that.
Is Pavlovich getting the next shot?
Just going to say that. Well, it's not even that. If Usman had won, what are they going to do? Colby Usman? I doubt it.
Yeah. So
you only have to look at his reaction when Leon got announced as a winner to know he wouldn't have.
Yeah. So your thoughts when that was announced, like that announced, doesn't even consult Leon because he finds out afterwards that it's been confirmed. He's like, what? No. So how your reaction when he was getting the title shot?
To me, shocked. I saw it as a bit of a shady move, but also just from a business standpoint, you've got a massive welterweight fight coming up. You've got one. Why pull the trigger so early when if Masvidal is able to pull off the win against Burns, you've got the biggest fight you could make in the welterweight division and you're not making it.
Yeah.
Masvidal beating Burns, with all due respect to Colby in his resume, is bigger than anything any person Colby would have beat. Because Burns, Burns, if I'm not mistaken, is where is he in the ranking? Is Burns as low as number 5 at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's
all right, fair enough. But if I'm not mistaken, Colby hasn't beaten anyone who was in the top 5 at the time of fighting them.
I think
maybe RDA.
Top 10. I think it's as big as the top 10, mate.
Maybe RDA might be the only one. But again, how many years ago was that?
2019.
So if Masvidal beats Burns, let's say, for example, Masvidal gets a stoppage as well, you could very well make an argument saying it should be Masvidal to get. And Leon wants that fight as well.
I think it's
crazy.
It's crazy. I think from Dana, this kind of Dana's very own mouth so many times. I don't make fights on the night.
Yeah.
And he has busted that myth not once but twice.
I mean, technically, he'll turn around and say, I didn't make the fight on the Saturday, I made it on the Friday.
Yeah. He busted that myth the first time after the Ankalaev Blachowicz. Thought, what happened that? It's going to be Glover versus Hill. And then he's done it with this. I think there were so many other narratives that he could have ran. Bilal, it's there. He's on the best win streak at welterweight.
And he had a no contest fight.
You got a fight that ended controversially with the eye poke.
Yeah.
Obviously, for what we saw, Leon looked like that he was maybe could have got him out of there afterwards, but you know, MMA doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you never know.
So there was a narrative there, but you've just made your Gilbert Burns, you've made your co-main event of your next big pay-per-view mean nothing.
Yeah.
Means nothing now.
It's a real shame.
Because Colby's got the title shot, and for me, like, of course, he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
May make, depending on the result of Gilbert Masvidal, if Gilbert wins, then this is probably the biggest fight for for Leon money-wise if he gets brought back to the UK. And when you probably look at it stylistically, it's probably the best matchup for him.
Yeah.
Probably the best matchup for him. I think he's got good cardio. I think if he can not get pressed by Colby, I think he beats Colby. I think people are not going to like that as a hot take. I don't think it's even
I think it's a hot take. I think what makes him different to Usman, though, is even though they both are pressure fighters, Colby's very much more fluid with his striking. Usman likes to set up his strikes and hit you hard and heavy strikes, whereas Colby's more of a volume fighter. So Leon has to be careful not to get outstruck.
Yeah, and plus his wrestling, his chain wrestling.
Yeah,
I think it's very good. So, but I still back Leon to win that fight. And yes, it's shitty the fact that he doesn't even get consulted of who he even wants. He said he was going to fly out to Miami to see it, mate. You might as well stay in Birmingham.
I still think he should. Again, I know Dana said what he said. If Masvidal goes out and does something crazy and the fans want it and Leon wants it and Masvidal wants it,
yeah,
I think he gets made.
Yeah,
there's no contracts have been signed yet. I think it gets made.
Yeah, I think Leon said on the Ariel Helwani, he said he's not going to sign it if it gets offered.
Yeah.
Which I sort of agree with him, but yeah, it's pretty bad, and like you've already seen high level professionals in the game already. Triple C, I love you, but
we've already seen it happen to Leon. Leon got taken out of the rankings during the pandemic.
Yeah, like Triple C, I know you're one of the best combat athletes, but to disregard Leon Edwards is Colby's your next champ. Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. But
yeah, that would surprise me though.
Wrestlers got to stick together.
Yeah.
Wrestlers got to stick together.
Yeah.
So that's your co-main event. No, that's your main event.
That's your main event.
That's your main event. Leon Edwards retains and is still your UFC welterweight champion. Let's move on to the co-main event. Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. This was dubbed as the changing of the guard at lightweight. Justin Gaethje thought, nah, not this time.
Yeah.
Beats Rafael Fiziev in a great fight. Probably fight of the night.
100%.
Fight of the night. I think Justin shut a lot of people up. I think he shut me up. I think he shut me up massively. I thought he was going to lose this by decision, but I think he just showed me that I know nothing about this because he just went, nope. So what are your thoughts?
I'll be honest. I've watched the fight back.
Yeah.
I think it should have gone to Fiziev. I think it should have been. I think he won rounds 1 and 2. Gaethje beat him up in the 3rd round, but he never looked like he was going to stop him or get him out of there. So it wouldn't be a 10-8 round.
Yeah, whoever
Rafa won rounds 1 and 2.
No.
Yeah, someone gave us a 10-8, which is crazy. He, in my opinion, won rounds 1 and 2. Like I kind of can't be convinced otherwise. Granted, Gaethje was excellent, especially in that 3rd round, which leads me to think that if that was a 5-rounder, Gaethje gets him out of there, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Gaethje is far from finished at this level, and I'm happy because he's one of the most entertaining fighters we've ever seen in the octagon. Fiziev, I worry about his gas tank. Because in that top, you look at Chandler, he's got a gas tank. You look at Justin, he's got a gas tank. Poirier, gas tank. Oliveira, gas tank. Islam, gas tank. It's a worry for me about Rafa. But his striking, like as a striker, he's so crisp. Like so
body kicks.
So good.
He was landing on Gaethje. I thought they were money.
Yeah, money. Gaethje reckons not many were landing. Like, from what we were watching, it looked like quite a few did land.
Yeah, I thought those body kicks were money. I've not watched the fight back, so I might need to give it a watch. I thought round 3, I thought Justin Gaethje definitely won. Whoever scored it 10-8, you need to rewatch that fight and tell me why you've scored that at 10-8, because just because his face is all bloodied up doesn't mean it's a 10-8 round.
Yeah, it doesn't at all.
I thought, Fiziev won the first round. I think the second round I need to watch it again just to make sure.
Yeah,
but
I'm not calling it a robbery. It's definitely not.
I think I would have edged it to Justin, but second time viewing might change my mind.
Yeah,
but I think it shows that with the new guard, I think this is the second fight of the what you call the old guard versus the new guard. I think Dariush Gamrot, that was the first one. Dariush wins by decision, and then obviously this one. So it shows that the fighters, the older fighters that have been round the block at lightweight, have just said, "Hold on, you'll get your time, but our time's not quite finished yet." And now, obviously, at lightweight, sort of a tricky picture because Islam's not fighting until October, which is pretty much been confirmed by every reasonable outlet.
Well, it confirmed by Dana as well.
Yeah, and confirmed by Dana. He's not fighting to Abu Dhabi. So what are you going to do with Justin? Are you going to try and set him up with a number 1 contenders fight? Because you're not going to...
You know what I'm doing, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm doing. Activity. I need to see him back in the cage. It's Justin. I need to see him back in the cage. You know who I need to see him against. Who's not got an opponent in the top 5 of the lightweight division, my bro?
Dustin Poirier. Let's run it back.
Ding, 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 ding.
Let's run that back. Make that the number 1 contenders fight for the belt in October, because depending on how Gaethje's feeling, could you fit it in International Fight Week? Make it on the Jones Stipe card as well.
Yeah.
Make it a 3-rounder. Winner faces Islam in Abu Dhabi, which I think would be great. I don't know if he wants to stay active, because Gaethje said this is his last run at the belt before he's going to hang it up, which will be a shame. But yet again, you completely understand it. He's 34. Don't you when he turns 35? There was a stat that was mentioned by Luke Thomas that if you're 30 fighters aged 35 or over, when fighting or defending their belt from flyweight up to welterweight, have only won 2 times. So if you want to make sure that he doesn't, I think it's like 2 wins and 20 losses, I think. So if he wants to avoid that, he needs to be active quick, and hopefully he doesn't turn 35 before October. Because the chance of him winning the title might be very, 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 very slim. But so it's been about what's going to happen with Gaethje. Hey, Dustin, sign me up. I'll take a Dustin rematch any day. What do you think you do with Fiziev? Because you mentioned something interesting on the watch long about maybe him dropping down the weight. Do you think that might happen, or do you think?
So here's the thing: I don't think it will happen. I just look at him, and I could be completely wrong and misjudging the situation here. I look at him, and I feel as though he could lose the weight if he wanted to. Like he could diet. Let's be real. Again, I want to make it clear. You look at him. He's always in great shape. He's shredded. Like it's not like he comes in and he looks heavy or he looks bloated. He doesn't. But just looking at him, looking at his height as well, like he has got massive legs. But I feel as though if he really dieted and really committed to it, I think he could make 45. If he made 45, and let's say he went in there and he won against a top opponent. Him versus Volkanovski next. Oh my, bro. Volk versus Rafa. Like this again. But let's caveat it again. Yair. Let's say Yair beats Volk.
Oh.
Yair versus Fiziev. A striking dream match.
Be a bloodbath. But it'll be a bloodbath.
Oh, it would be, but it'd be a hell of a fight. So I mean, I doubt he does it. I know it's a wild take, but I'll be up for seeing it.
But if he sticks around at lightweight, is there any particular opponent that you'd have in mind?
If he sticks around at lightweight, you kind of have to start throwing him in. You got to throw him in with, Jalen Turner's a shout.
The height
They're both coming
difference.
off losses.
Well, Jalen Turner, yeah, both coming off losses. Yeah.
Here's another name, Drew Dober.
He's fighting 2 at 8. He's fighting against Matt Frivola, so he's booked. He's booked. So
you throw him in with a wrestler then, Gamrot.
Or what's the guy that begins with a T?
Sarukian.
Sarukian. If I don't think
I'd go Gamrot. I'd go Gamrot only because Gamrot fought recently, so their timelines are quite similar.
Yeah. So there's plenty of fights at lightweight for him. I personally don't see him making the cut to 45 because you always think that they can do the cut, and then when they do it, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe you don't do that again.
It'd probably be crazy for him.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll get a fight booked soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If anyone at the UFC is watching, Justin versus Dustin 2, please, if possible. It'd be nice.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. And next was Gunnar Nelson making his return after a little layoff versus Brian Barberena. Gunnar Nelson wins by submission first round. Any surprises with that result? Because for me,
I didn't think he'd do it in the first round. I can't remember what I predicted for that, but I didn't think it'd be the first round. Not surprised. Gunnar, I think Gunner's one of those fighters who's been so unlucky with injury and just being out of the cage. And he had that, I can't remember who it was against. Was it Ponzinibbio? And he got a really bad eye poke and it wasn't spotted and then got knocked out. That set him back as well. Gunner's brilliant, man. I love watching Gunner fight. His patience, his
cerebral,
just the way he breaks up. Yes, that's the perfect word. Perfect word, Luke. The way he sort of breaks fighters down, it's very artistic the way he does it. But the way he did the way he got the finish, like I called it stream. As soon as he got guard, you saw his attacking the arm. Barberena probably knew he was attacking for the arm.
Just couldn't do anything.
It's one thing knowing, couldn't do anything. How many times do we see Messi cutting on his left foot? Can't stop it though. Same with Gunner's jiu-jitsu. He's brilliant, man. Brilliant. And some exciting fights potentially still for him, in my opinion. I don't think he can obviously make a run at the title or anything like that, but still some very fun fights in that division, in my opinion.
He's in what I'd call the Legends division sort of thing. Like he's not going to make a run for the title, but you put him in good fights, he'll produce a banger.
Yeah,
like he's that type of fighter that you'll want to see. Anyone in particular that you'd like him to fight next?
So I know I was saying Chiesa, but Chiesa's fighting Leach, isn't he, on April 9th?
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head. If I'm going to be honest, I don't. I'd have to really sit and think about that one. Let me have a quick look at the ranking.
Just trying to think. I think Gunner's ranking.
I think you came up with a good one on the watch along. I can't remember though.
I think you mentioned Ian Gary, and I said
no. I definitely didn't mention Ian. No, I did, didn't I?
Yeah. You mentioned Ian Gary, and I'm like, no, because of the McGregor, the big McGregor factor. I don't think Ian Gary and Gunner would fight because of that. As crazy as that sounds.
Well, Gunner's above Ian in the rankings now as well.
I'm just
Gunner's now ranked 24. Could you do Kevin Holland?
No, I think I said Alex Morono. I think.
Oh,
yeah, I think
that's not a bad shout actually.
Yeah, I think I said Alex Morono. Yeah, good wrestler, good fighter.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Has RDA got anyone? I know he's gone back to a lightweight, but
no. I think RDA basically said after, like, he lost to Fiziev, that was like his run at the title over, and he'll just take fun fights. So maybe have Gunner versus RDA, because RDA tapped out Barberena in Barberena's last fight. You got the narrative there. You got McGregor's training partner.
Yeah.
You know, there's always a narrative. There's always money to be made if people are just willing to just see the picture, really. So yeah, RDA versus Gunner, I'd take that all day long.
I'm taking that.
Take that on like a fight night, or even on the prelims, or even as an opener on one of the numbered cards. Yeah. So the next fight was, it was Jennifer Maia versus Casey O'Neill. Jennifer Maia stops the hype train, gives Casey O'Neill her first career loss, making her 9-1. What did you think of the fight between the two?
Jennifer looked crisp. She looked really crisp in her striking, her footwork, her movement, shot selection. I thought she looked really good. Casey coming off the ACL injury and being out the cage for so long, and the fact that she's still young in her MMA career, looking back with hindsight, I think she maybe should have taken a lesser opponent. No disrespect to any of the women in that division, but Jennifer Maia is a former title challenger and one of the mainstays in the top 8 of that division. Casey coming off an injury, coming straight to that fight, I don't think was the right move. But at the same time, if you're going to look for a silver lining, it proves that in a year or two, Casey could very much be knocking on the door of the top 5 in that division.
Yeah, I think for me, I think I mentioned the same concern with the ACL injury. I don't know whether or not she rushed herself back for the London card. I don't know where her recovery timeline was leading. And I always thought that she should have taken someone outside of the top 15. Like, because she's got time. Like, she's not trying to be the youngest ever champion because I think she's 25.
Yeah.
So she could have taken her time. Could have had like a warm-up fight. I hate saying warm-up fights because they're all elite to be in the UFC.
Yeah.
But to take someone outside the top 15, gets the win, gets the momentum, get the ring rust, the octagon rust off. And I think that was the biggest thing. She just looked rusty. The timing was off.
Yeah.
I thought her takedown defense was slack compared to what it usually is.
Yeah.
And I just think it was just an off night for her. But not going to take anything away from Jennifer Maia. She looked like the active fighter, the one that hasn't been on the shelf for the past year. And she very much deserved the win. Looked slick with her striking, looked great with the wrestling, jiu-jitsu. Perfect. And I think now at 125 pounds, there's a new champ. Maybe she can make another run for the belt.
Potentially. Yeah.
Yeah. She's ranked 9. Yeah, she's ranked 9. So
8 now.
She's ranked 8 now. So who's above her?
Lauren Murphy. I think Jennifer Maia beats Lauren Murphy. Chukagian's always a difficult opponent. I think Jennifer Maia could beat Chukagian though. Jessica Andrade is the fight I'd like to see Jennifer Maia get next. Then you got Blanchfield 4th, Talia Santos 3rd, Fiorot.
Lost twice to Chukagian, by the way.
Who Jennifer Maia has?
Yeah, lost twice.
So, okay, so that's
2 decisions. So yeah,
I think her versus Andrade would be a good fight.
2 Brazilian powerhouses.
Yeah,
going at it. That always produces a great fight. Next fight for Casey O'Neill. Do you think she drops down the rankings, takes someone that's currently outside?
Yeah, it's got to be someone outside the top 15, in my opinion.
I'm just getting the rankings up just so I can put an opponent out into the atmosphere.
Do you know what? You say that though. She's ranked 12 at the moment. You could do her versus Tracy Cortez.
I think she's injured.
That rules that out then.
I think I saw something that she put a motivational speech about being back.
Cynthia Calvillo.
Joanne Wood.
Have I read somewhere that they wouldn't fight, or am I just making that up? Joanne Wood would be a good fight though. They kind of could have made that fight for this card, to be fair.
What's Miesha Tate doing? I don't know. I don't think she's dropped down to 125 pounds again.
Nah, I don't think she would again.
Just trying to think. I mentioned one on the prelims. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Molly McCann. Are they that close? Potentially.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it, but I've just got a feeling that I don't know what's next for her. Like, there's no obvious opponent for her.
Yeah.
But they'll find someone and we'll go, good fight.
Yeah, I think she needs to be busy though. I think she needs to be kept busy. Yeah.
Because she'll get there to definitely she'll fight for the title at some point. She just needs to stay active, just keep improving her game.
Away. Yeah, agreed.
And last fight, the opener, probably the most controversial decision on the card. Some iffy judging. That's Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze. Marvin Vettori winning by unanimous decision. Callum, do you want to talk about it? Because I just feel like my blood boiling if I have to talk about
30-27 for either man is just ridiculous. But if you're going to give a 30-27, it's got to be for Dolidze. I thought he won at least 2 rounds, maybe even all 3. The rounds were close. Again, it wasn't a washout. It didn't batter Marvin Vettori from pillar to post. I thought he won the fight though, and I don't understand the judging criteria sometimes, or what they want, or what they expect, or if they're relaying this to the fighters, because the judging is so inconsistent that you kind of you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, it's longer than that, I'd say.
I'd probably say the last 18 months, noticeably
very suspect.
There is always at least, I don't know what you notice on watch alongs, it's one fight that we've gone, huh?
Yeah, what is going on? Yeah.
Have you just scored? So for this, I thought, hey, credit to Marvin Vettori, he's got a hell of a chin.
Sure.
A hell of a chin.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever been dropped in his UFC career. So
he's been in there with Whittaker and Adesanya. And Paulo Costa,
light heavyweight as well.
Bloody.
So he's got a hell of a chin, but for me, he just I think Marvin Vettori is an interesting character and he's a good fighter. He's got elite cardio, but the rest of his game is good.
Yeah.
And that's not being disrespectful to Marvin Vettori.
Yeah.
I just think he's good all round without being elite at anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, agreed.
And I thought, judging. I think we might need to start looking at the criteria again at judging, because I feel like something's got to change, because I do not want to see boxing decisions come into this sport.
We're already seeing it though,
and we're seeing too many for my liking. Too many. It needs to be changed, or change the judges.
Yeah.
The UFC don't the judges aren't UFC.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not appointed by the UFC. They're appointed by the commission.
The judges are appointed by the UFC. Nope, it's appointed by the Athletics Commission. So something needs to be looked into in regards to that.
Completely agree.
But Roman Dolidze, very, very unfortunate. I thought he fought a great fight.
Yeah.
I thought it looked good. I thought he was going to use some wrestling, but it was mainly a striking battle, and I thought he looked good, landing some good shots. Yeah. Couldn't get Vettori out of there, but when your opponent's got a granite-like chin, you're never getting him out of there.
You're not.
What's next for both guys? Because I've got a feeling that Marvin might get a big fight next, and I don't think he's going to like who it's going to be.
So, me personally, because I'm shameless, I want to see Usman versus Hamza, or in fact, that's the fight I want to see. So I'm going to go Vettori versus Cannonier, and I'm going to go Dolidze and Sean Strickland.
Okay, I like the Sean Strickland Dolidze one. I'm gonna go Vettori versus Hamza, only because I've been adamant for a while that I always thought that if Hamza was going up, he would fight Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
Obviously, Costa's having contract issues with the UFC. Don't think that one's going to happen. Dana did say that Khamzat will be fighting a top 3 middleweight. And guess who's ranked number 3?
Yeah.
Marvin Vettori. And
It's not going to be Whitaker.
And Marvin Vettori, being the gangster Marvin Vettori is, taking every fight, he'll take the fight. And that's how Khamzat gets his way into the top 5. I think he'll beat Vettori.
Could it not be Whitaker though, bro? Because if Vettori just fought, he's gonna need at least 5 months, I reckon, before he fights again.
Khamzat's not fighting until October.
Oh, is that been confirmed?
Yes.
Okay. If that's
So
the
he'll be
case,
on
then
the
yeah. Saying that, Usman and Khamzat at 85, bro. I mean, could we not?
I mean, it's there.
Could we not do it, bro? Could we not?
Might have to talk to Dana. Hey, Dana, Khamzat versus Usman at 85. No, Dana. I didn't say 70. I said 85. Thinking, yeah, but there's no belt on the line. Who needs a belt? Who needs the belt? It's a good fight as a co-main. But obviously, not going to discuss the prelims because Callum has still not watched it.
Yeah, sorry. I've only literally seen the highlight of Makayev's knee bending the wrong way and then him tapping out the same person who made his knee bend the wrong way, which is crazy for me.
One word, different gravy.
Different.
So that's been our review of UFC 286. Let us know in the comments below what you think the fight should do afterwards. If you disagreed with any of us, then let us know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to the Sanderson Show. Link is going to be in the title. We're on the push for 1,000 subs on that channel. We're nearly there. We're 30 away.
Almost there.
We're getting there. We are getting there. And obviously, subscribe to Kopush as well if you want the good Liverpool content as well. They're on the road to 30k, so make sure to smash the like button as well. Link is in the description for their channel. Callum, let the people know what they can expect on your channel.
I've got a few ideas, nothing concrete yet, so I don't want to give any titles away. But a couple things coming up. But guys, most importantly, subscribe to this channel.
Yeah,
subscribe to Luke's channel. Subscribe to Luke's channel, like the video, spread the news, share his videos. I keep on saying this. I don't just say this because I say this to him off stream as well. Yeah. Without Luke, the Sanderson Show, especially on watch-alongs, does not happen, guys. Like, he's the reason I'm still awake at 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Like, so guys, give him the support he deserves, man. Let's do this.
Yeah. Massive. It's a pleasure as always doing the watch-alongs.
No, always a pleasure.
Make sure I do have something in the pipeline for this weekend. So
indeed. Let's go.
I'll have an interview out with the one and only Colin Crandall out on Saturday. So make sure to tune in for that one. Looking forward to that, to doing that interview. So make sure to watch it when I upload it on Saturday at some point. So yeah, that's it. So everyone that's watched the video, make sure they hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Subscribe to the Sanderson Show, subscribe to Kopish, and most of all, subscribe to this channel as well. We'll see you all later.
Big up, bro.